Hello everyone, I am Dr. Manjunath Estalgadi, working as an assistant professor in Government First Grade College, Savalgi. This session is prepared for BA 5th SEM, and this is an elective paper, and the title of the elective paper is Development of Modern Geography. Here, as in the last class, we have discussed the what are the core concepts in geography. Like first one is space, and then second one is location, and then place. So what is geographical space? We have studied. Then what are the location types? Location types were two: relative and absolute. And what are mental maps? And then EO is Earth observation, and GIS is geographical information system. So, as a part, as in part of a continuation, the concepts, the main concepts in geography are location, or we call it as space. And then in the space we studied about two concepts, that is types of spaces. One is absolute location and then relative location, and the second one concept is place, and the third one is environment. Environment is supposed to be the third core concept, which is the most unambiguous interpretation, which has most unambiguous interpretation. It is the natural environment, but that environment is occupied by people, and it encompasses human perception and aspirations, along with biophysical characteristics that can be measured and monitored. Here, the shape of the Earth's surface and the processes enact upon it, and these again what have leads to physical and human aspect, which is again the essence of geography. The reciprocal relationship between natural environment and the people have always been and remained key question. The relationship between people, that is man and environment. Although emphasis has changed over the time and environmentally determined, it has got limitations on people, or to a greater awareness of human impact on the natural environment. The current issues of sustainability, custodian of environment, protocols to reduce ozone depletion, then world summits to limit the use of carbon fuels, etc. These are imperative to understand and manage this relationship between man and environment. Geographers would argue more as they focus on the holistic view, and this is view of increasing importance in the world. Particularly this has risen due to environmental change and globalization, which are more pressing in nature. And hence place, space and environment and central concepts of geography, and holds subject together, and it gives better meaning. Now, landscape. Landscape is another concept which has evolved as the aggregation of three concepts. And here the concept of landscape comes more closer to define this nexus of concepts of geography. And there are two metaphors that help to illuminate this claim. First, landscape has qualities of a palm pest. Literally, palm pest was a form of parchment, that is before advent of paper, and later on it was used as information. Landscape can be seen as a written over many times, both physical as well as human processes. And the second one is second metaphor is written by Vidal de la Blache, the French human geographer, who says that landscape is a medal cast in the image of its people. For him, the record of people's occupants of land over a long period of time could be read from the study of landscapes. No other discipline focuses more on this trinity, that is space, place, environment nexus, and therefore it has been the prime focus of geography throughout history, and still defines its role today. At the same time, geography has developed. It has gone to various phases It has undergone and geography has passed through various ups and downs like any other subject would have undergone. It has got divergences and tensions which have recently emerged. Now, phase 1 was the long period of time up to the mid 19th century when explorers and map makers sketched out the properties of the known world. And the beginning of the 20th century was the second phase, which witnessed to identify the discipline of geography, that too in the universities. And this acted as the bridging role between nature and culture. Now, during the first half of the 20th century, phase 3 shifted its focus towards regional studies and human landscape. And the fourth phase, which dated from middle decades of the 20th century, saw an emergence of subdisciplines within broad categories of physical and human geography. Phase fifth saw which began during the late decades of 20th century brings us through to modern times and the increasing diversity of a wide field of study. Contemporary geography. Contemporary geography has been more evolved, and here also maps are still important through satellite remote sensing, which we know it as Earth observation, that is EO, geographic information system, and other powerful quantitative techniques through statistical softwares or theoretical conceptual framework. Traditional fieldwork and comparative method, these have been evolved, and the concept of space and place have been transformed, particularly in human geography. The need to understand the biophysical and human environments of people and their interaction is becoming increasingly urgent issue of sustainability and protection and preservation of the planet Earth, which is imperative. However, integrity within geography as a whole has weakened. Both physical and human geography have become more and more specialized and have adopted different approaches to many of their research problems. Geography has changed as what we know now. It is no longer name of place, or no longer just capitals or other places sort of thing. But however, it has changed what we know. Computers, laboratories, and libraries are just as indispensable to geographers as maps and fieldwork. And for many behavioral and cultural geographies, the terra incognita of the early explorers have been replaced by those of human mind. Geography has evolved in philosophical subtle distinctions, discrimination between entity and its spatial location. For example, Italy is just not a boot shaped territory. Opposition between identity and spatial temporal coincidence. The city and state of Hamburg are two things in a one place, but both are different. In geography, the what and where are not assimilated. They are deeply intervened and they give rise to host of various puzzles. Philosophically, many geographic entities exist in spatial reality as well in real world. It depends upon their existence on social and cognitive practices. Philosophy and geography both aim to bring together in more systematic fashion to discuss between these two disciplines. Geography deals with natural features, particularly geopolitical or administrative territories they occupy, the people whom they involve, and objects with which people have to deal in their daily lives. The same it applies to other entities. Geography seems committed. Vegetation, fields, industrial zones, population densities, colorful objects and symbols are depicted on topographical maps or weather maps. So thank you for enjoying and listening the same. Thank you.